Alrighty guys, so right now we're going to be talking about volume confirmation and how important it is for using supply and demand. So um, the main thing we look for with volume confirmation is simply just an increase in volume when you're at the zones. And that is just telling you that there are limit orders or passive buy or sell orders, depending on demand or supply. They're being filled at these zones and people are watching the zones. Pretty simple. So let's take a look. So when we're at a demand zone, right, or a supply zone, we want to see an increase in volume. So let's take a look here. First of all, volume's pretty high all morning right here when the market opens, right? As soon as we touch or get real at demand right here, we see an increase in volume, right? Jumps up to, highest it's been in the past 15 minutes, right? And that was once we touched demand. So there is orders being filled here, right? Then we come back down. Now we're in demand here, right? Look at this. As we get closer to demand, there's more and more volume. Then right when we hit demand, there's the most volume, right? And when we're in demand and we see these random volume spikes like here, like this candle, maybe these candles over here, that means that there's more and more limit orders getting filled from these institutions. They're probably leveraging in their position, which is that's what you want to see, right? And then you finally see over here, once we start to break out, there's still random pumps of volume everywhere, random pumps. Then we kind of break out, come back in, and then you see when we touch or on the way down to demand again, heavy selling, right? Because these institutions probably want to leverage back into their position. And then right when we touch demand, highest volume, right? Super high volume. That is, a good sign that there's still people watching this. There's still limit orders being filled. Everything, right? So that's really all we're looking for. That's our volume confirmation. So when you see like me or Rhino or someone saying like waiting for volume confirmation, that's what they're saying. Waiting for the increase in volume. That's basically it. And then it's basically the same thing for supply. Let me see if I can find I don't really have any fresh supply zones. Let's just look at this. So this was a supply zone like somewhere right here. I didn't draw it exact, but we're just kind of looking here. So we'll go on a 5-minute chart, go all the way back here. So the supply zone was formed over here. If we look here, we came in pretty low volume, touch supply, right? High volume, highest volume that we've had, right? Highest volume we've had right here. Drop back out, come back into supply, volume's picking up again. It doesn't look like it's huge, but compared to the average, right? It is picking up compared to what it has been. And same thing here. When we touched, volume picked up. So that means it's a solid zone. Then if we come over this way, when we touch again, what do we notice, right? Volume's low coming in, start to pick up, a huge volume increase. And same thing here, huge volume increase. That means we're in a valid zone because there's volume confirmation. So that's really all we're looking for when we're talking about volume confirmation. And if you get a lot of buy volume in that increase in volume, that's also a good sign. So once we touch demand here, we see there's tons of sell volume, so we might drop a little more. But if this was all green, lots of green, then that's even better of confirmation. So that's really it for volume confirmation. So on to the next.